Should you buy or should you rent? My name is Daphnée Antoine. I'm a local realtor. And so if you ever ask yourself, should you buy a house or should you rent? I'm going to share with you 4 pros and 4 cons of home ownership. The first pro of home ownership is that we build equity, meaning that if you have a fixed rate mortgage and things stay the same, you're in a good market, you are in a good neighborhood where property value are increasing, your house start to build equity. Your house start to worth more than what you originally paid for it. Okay, that's the number one. Number two is predictable costs, meaning that if you have a fixed rate mortgage, on average your monthly rent, your monthly mortgage will stay the same. As opposed to renting, oftentimes the rent goes up, you have no control over it. There are times when maybe property tax increase in the area, which may increase your mortgage. Your mortgage, if you are paying your property tax and your mortgage together, then that could increase your monthly mortgage. However, if taxes stay the same, then you do have an idea of what your mortgage is gonna be from month to month, as opposed to renting, like I said, where you have no control and oftentimes rent increases every year. Okay, so number three is going to be total control of your space, meaning that you have the freedom and the creativity to decorate your house as you choose. Okay, if you want to paint it purple, you want to paint it pink, you want to paint it black, that's your business. Nobody is gonna say no, you cannot do that. Okay, and then so you have the freedom of creativity. You can make your home reflect your personality. And I'm sure as opposed to renting, too often you may not have that leeway to change things as you like. Number four, it could grow in value. Again, kind of like the same thing as home equity. Okay, so as you own your property, the longer you hold it, okay, the more it can increase in value, and that's helping you build generational wealth. And down the road, you may take some of your equity and you may want to take it out, purchase more property, invest in real estate. So it's giving you a foundation to continue to build wealth in the real estate area. Okay, so that's just 4 of the pros that I'm mentioning to you today. However, there are cons to home ownership. So the number one is it is a pretty high upfront cost, meaning that when you are buying, we have to have some of the down payment. We're paying for the closing costs, we're paying for inspection. You are moving, so that could cause some expenses. But with that being said, there are ways to help you when it comes to down payment assistance. And so if you are really considering home ownership, you do have to keep in mind that there are some costs upfront that if you don't have some saving, that could be challenging. Okay, and number two, it does tie you down. So if you do like the flexibility of moving, on a whim, maybe you looking to change jobs, maybe you looking to change city, okay, it might not be as easy as it is if you are renting, whereas maybe you can ask your landlord to maybe pay off your lease, something like that, or to move, like you have a situation. But then when you are owning, it could take a few months before you can sell your property. So it does tie you down. Okay, and number three, maintenance and repair. When we are a homeowner, when things break down, you do not have somebody to call on. You are your landlord. Okay, you are your landlord, meaning that if you are considering home ownership, don't just think about, okay, can I afford the monthly mortgage? You do have to think about, as things naturally break down, do I have the money saved to be able to repair or replace? So those are some things to keep in mind. um and then like that falls into number three, you the landlord. Okay, you the landlord. If there's a roof leak, that's on you. If there's a broken furnace, that's on you. Okay, so as your property is increasing in value, it's also good for you to have like maybe a repair budget, because naturally things will break down. Okay, and then four is we're talking about cons, which is it's possible the market may turn on us. Okay, and then so you've heard about the 2008 market crash, and usually people's house, they started to owe more than the property is worth. Okay, and that's called when your house is underwater. So there are times when things happen in the economy, whereas the amount of money that you purchase your house for, now it's worth less than that. And so that is a con. It does happen. Sometimes that could be due to the neighborhood that you are living in. Like I said, it could be due to economy, but at the end of the day, we do have to be aware that there are possibility where the market may turn on us. However, here's a question for you, right? So, how do you determine if you should go ahead and jump and become a homeowner? So you're gonna have to ask yourself those three questions. One, do you plan to stay in one place for at least 5 to 7 years? Why do I say 5 to 7 years? Because typically, the first 5 to 7 years, you're really not making much if you sell your house because of the closing costs associated with it. You might end up losing, or you may end up owing. Okay, so it could be even as well. I mean, if it's a really good market, it's possible that you stay in a house for 2 years, 3 years, and then you end up making some good 10, 20K profit, because you are in a good market and it's a good area and your house increase. But then that's just like an exception. It doesn't always happen that way, right? And so we do need to keep in mind that if we want to buy, we should think about, do we plan to stay in that property at least 5 to 7 years? Okay, number two is, do you have a stable income? It is important that we do have a stable income, because as I mentioned earlier, as things start to break down, we are responsible for repair and replace. And then so with that being said, you do want to have some room for those type of expenses. And then you have a mortgage, and therefore you want to have the peace of mind that, okay, I do have a stable job and I should be able to pay my mortgage every month. Things happen, obviously, but then we want to make sure that we do have a little backup. Okay, and again, so that falls into number three. Do we have enough saved for a down payment or emergency fund? Okay, so build a little saving before you jump. That way you do not feel pressure when things need financial when you need to make repairs, when you need to change something. I remember when I purchased my condo, the first year we had to change the furnace. What else? We have to buy a new fridge, and so things like that happen. And so let's make sure that we do have a little emergency fund, so that we can have the peace of mind that we need when we need to repair or replace. Okay, so I hope this video gave you some good tip or an idea of what to think about if you are thinking about buying a home right now. I do have good news for you though. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a realtor in the Chicagoland area, which is Cook County. There's now a down payment assistance program where Cook County is now offering up to $25,000. You heard me correctly. Up to $25,000 down payment assistance for qualifying buyers looking to buy right now. Okay, so if you or someone you know is considering buying right now, please reach out to me. I will have my information in the description, and I can gladly connect you with my lender who can help determine whether you can qualify for this money or not. Okay, so with that being said, home ownership is amazing, but for everybody it is a personal decision. So think about where you are in life, think about where you want to be 5 to 7 years from now, and think about your financial situation, and then make the decision whether you should jump to home ownership or keep on renting, which is there is nothing wrong with that. So either way, I wish you the best in life, and remember, connect with me. I can help you on your home buying journey, and I also can connect you with my lender who can get you pre-approved, let you know about different down payment assistance that you can qualify for, so that we can help you get on the way to home ownership. That's all for today. My name is Daphnée Antoine. I am a realtor passionate in helping families become homeowner. Bye for now. See you next time.